and welcome to the Cincinnati chapter of the Collective Empowerment Group's program, Ministry in the Marketplace. We, the CEG, are a group of churches and businesses that have come together to improve the economic condition of our churches, our members, and our community. We believe that the church is the most effective way to produce and create economic empowerment. We believe that we can become producers as opposed to just consumers. And when we produce businesses, we also produce job opportunities. When we produce job opportunities, we also have an opportunity to create wealth and take control of our own destiny. We have a strategic partner program that provides benefits to our members as well as create business growth for our strategic partners. Over the past year and a half, we have done over $1.5 million with businesses that are a part of our strategic program. And we believe that this program not only benefits our organization and its members, but it also impacts our community as well. We would love for you to be a part of our organization. We want you to be a part of this dynamic process of taking control of our own destiny. Welcome to our program, and we hope that you enjoy it.
When it comes to honoring veterans, the level of dedication and commitment by J.C. Battle and Sons Funeral Home is unrivaled. There's no limit to what they will do to recognize, honor, and pay respect to the courageous men and women who risk their lives for our country. They'll drape the casket with the American flag. They have a moving video tribute that adds to the powerful celebration for our veterans. A memorial tapestry blanket is also made available to each and every family. They accompany the veteran to his or her final resting place in a coach that's identified with the American flag, the emblem of the veterans branch of service. The Patriots Walk, where there's a double row of flags from the road to where the coach will stop to the gravesite, creating a Patriots Walk in honor of the veteran. Honor Guard. The local veterans of foreign wars and American Legion posts maintain a volunteer group of veterans to serve as the Honor Guard. There is a 21 Dove release, a 21 gun salute, and the playing of taps. Amazing Grace played on bagpipes. These are just a few of the exclusive veteran services that we provide. You will not find another funeral home that does more for veterans and their families than J.C. Battle and Sons Funeral Home. Give them a call whenever the need arises or go to their website, jcbattleandsonsfuneralhome.com or 513-281-4330, helping you to celebrate the memory of the ones you love.
Hi, my name is Wani Yarrow, and I am president of Speedy Signs and Apparel. We are located in Sharonville, Ohio. We've been in business for 12 years now. Been at this location for 7, and we specialize in all types of signs, t-shirts, embroidered polo shirts, as well as vehicle and bus lettering. We like to encourage you to come out and see our showroom. We have samples of all the products that we make. We also have vehicles that we can show you and all types of designs we've done. We do 90% of our work in-house. We have wide format printers and laminators. We have 2 screen presses as well as an embroidery machine. We like an opportunity to serve you. Our prices are competitive. Our quality is excellent. Our reputation is excellent. And we look forward to seeing you at Speedy Signs at 2486 East Sharon Road. Our phone number is 531-1919. You can visit our website at signsapparel.com. Thank you.
Hi, and welcome once again to Ministry in the Marketplace. I'm your host, Angelita Moreno-Jones, and my co-host,
Pastor Robert Harper from First Baptist Church of Kennedy Heights.
And how are you today?
I'm doing good, Angelita.
Good,
how you doing?
Good. I'm glad to be back here again.
Yeah,
so what do we have in store so far?
Well, I think that today we're going to, and I'm going to interview Pastor Tracy Ventus.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah,
yes.
He's great. He's one of my best friends.
Okay.
And you're going to interview who?
Actually, I'm not going to interview today.
Really?
I'm going to introduce a gentleman and part of his team,
Wow.
Chuck Futel and Associates. Very interesting when it comes to financial matters.
Mhm.
And his team is here, his wife, his daughter, one of his key employees, and they have some interesting things to tell us about wealth and about debt.
Okay. I think since the last time we were here,
Mhm.
we've taken on another strategic partner.
Oh, we did. The strategic partner we took on is owned, it's called McAdoo's
Okay.
and Incredible Delights. It's owned by a chef, Sheila McAdoo, and they do something different with their soul food.
Okay.
They deliver lunch.
Oh,
Now
good.
that's different. And then in the evening, they have a little cocktail hour.
Okay.
No alcohol though,
Hey.
just a little cocktail hour where they do like a fish fry and have different greens and cabbages.
Is she good?
Oh my God, she's excellent.
Oh, I have to try her.
And in addition, she also does catering.
Okay.
And it's called McAdoo's and Incredible Delights, and it's located in Clifton.
In Clifton.
Yes.
We also have 2 new member churches.
Ah,
Grace Church,
okay.
which is on Reading Road, not far from here. I
Okay.
think it's in the 8000 block. And then we have the Rock Church.
Okay.
I know its pastor. His pastor is Pastor Ron Seal Harris. So we have 2 new churches.
Okay.
I also believe that we're going to look at some other strategic partners later in life.
Okay, well that sounds good. Well, let's see. Who are you interviewing now?
I am going to interview Pastor Tracy Ventus from the New Mission Missionary Baptist Church. But the interesting thing about Pastor Ventus is he is the founding visionary president of CEG. So we're going to talk about that.
Oh, that's good. And you know, I also heard that he wrote a book, or he's in the process of writing one.
Yes, he is.
You know,
Yes,
I
he
really
is.
like that pastor, so I can't wait to hear what he has to talk about.
Oh, you'll enjoy it.
Okay. Well, first, let's go to a clip about one of the strategic partners, which is Chuck Futel and Associates.
My biggest inspiration is actually my parents. My father, both his parents died by the time he was age 2. And so because of that tragedy in his life, he started to believe family was very important. He did not graduate from grade school. But guess what? We had to have a good education. He had a heart attack when I was 6 years old. And so as a result of that physical challenge that he had, my mom had to step up and do some things. And so I saw her leadership that she was able to bring to the table through our family. What I saw in my parents translated into my business. He had a number of different businesses that he ran along the side. The bug of being an entrepreneur, being a business owner was already inside of me. I needed to be a part of the people. I needed to be a part of the community. I needed to leverage the skills that I had to help the community. Several years ago, I was here in Cincinnati and I was invited to come to a political rally. And at this time, this is when Obama wasn't even the president at that time, he was running for office. And so I'm sitting there in this meeting I hadn't been engaged in politics since I've been here in Cincinnati. So I'm sitting in this meeting and I look around the room and I see black people, white people, men, women, Christians, Jews, young and old, gay and straight, and they're all in the room. It's still emotional for me, even right now. And I looked up to heaven, and I cried in this room. I just cried, literally broke down and cried, because I knew that they were excited for this moment. Something that they had worked hard for, to bring people together, to see the people together, to see them working together for President Obama to become a president. I knew they were happy.
Well, Chuck and I both grew up in Chicago. Ironically, we grew up on the same side of Chicago, less than a mile apart, but we didn't know each other. We actually met at the University of Illinois. My parents moved to Chicago, and they were both very unique in their own rights. They both were college educated. My dad finished high school. He was able to go to college. He's a graduate of Knoxville College. My mom, however, struggled quite a bit. She put herself through school. She was orphaned at 13, had to move away from Alabama up to Kentucky, where she finished high school and eventually graduated from the University of Toledo. I guess what I would want to share about my parents is that education was very, very important to them, as Chuck talked about his parents. I have a unique opportunity to work with my husband every day. It didn't start out that way. In fact, we were married a very long time, 25 years before we started to work together. And so there was a challenge at first. The good part about us working together is that I already understood what he did. It's been a wonderful experience. I feel like I'm contributing to not only our business success, but our family success, because that's why we're doing what we're doing. It's to leave a legacy for our children and our children's children, and to make an impact in the community. So I can say honestly that it's been very rewarding.
Hopefully you enjoyed that video. My name is Chuck Futel, and I'm the president of Chuck Futel and Associates. And what we have here today is we actually have some of our staff here at the table with us. At my right hand is actually my wife, Marcia Futel. She's fully licensed in the business. She's an advisor as well. She helps us manage some of the back end of our business. Also at my right hand, I have Brandy Davis. She is an advisor in our business. She's full-time in our business. She's helping us build our business. And to our left hand, I have my daughter, Desiree Futel. She is new to our business. She's studying to get her advisor's license. And this is just some of the 15 active agents that are working out of our office. One of the things that makes our business unique, Chuck Futel and Associates, is that number one, we have a number of people that work with us in our business. We have over 15 active licensed agents in our business. We have 6 advisors that are working in our business. We manage more money than your local bank branch. So we have multiple millions of dollars up under assets that we manage, and we work with both the small investor as well as the large investor. One of the things that makes our business very unique is that we're approachable, and one of the things that we do is we will work with you and teach you how to become totally financially independent. We'll show you how to become completely debt-free. We'll show you how to become properly protected. There are 2 big issues right now that are affecting people all across this area as well as all across the United States. Number one is the financial services industry. We're in the industry, however, the industry has a problem. The problem is that 95% of all the people in America are not going to make it financially. What I'm saying is that only 5% of the people in America are going to end up being financially secure and financially independent by the time they retire, yet 95% of the people will not. Why is that a problem? I think it's a big problem because everybody is involved in the financial services industry, one way or another. Checking account, savings account, you got a loan, you get a tax refund, you have a job. So everybody's involved, but most people fail. So the question I ask is, would you send your children or grandchildren to school where 95% of the kids fail?
No, I wouldn't.
Doesn't make any sense. I mean, would you get on a plane where 95% of the time? No, I know you wouldn't do that. And so the point I'm making is that why would you get involved and leave your financial future to an industry that has such a high failure rate? One of the things that we're doing is we're teaching people how they can win, and we're teaching them the things that the industry does not want to teach the average guy. We're teaching things what the average guy needs to know in order to win. So I'm going to pass the baton around and talk about some of the issues that people have. So let's start over here at my left with my daughter. Desiree, why don't you talk about young people and getting started? And what's the big issue for young people getting started, either starting their first job, coming out of college? What are the issues for our young people?
I think the biggest issue with young people while in college or out of college is we're not making enough money. We're tacked with all these student loans and debt, and the job opportunities aren't there, which is why I joined our business, so that I can learn more about business, to be successful in what I do, but also to earn the extra income to support my family.
Great. And so that's very good. So what did this business do for you? How did this business help you personally? And what can it help other young people in terms of getting started on their road to financial independence?
Well, the first thing is I was equipped with a financial coach. So I was able to achieve my goals and dreams. When I moved back to Cincinnati, I wanted to purchase a house, so I was advised how to do so. And I think what's awesome about what we do is it makes the things that seem so big very approachable. And it's not that you need a lot of money to do these things, it's you need your money going in the right direction and doing the right things with it, such as investing and saving your money and making the right decisions.
What else happened to you a couple of months ago? What happened and how did that happen?
So after following the advice of a coach, I actually was able to purchase my first house, which was awesome. And it's noteworthy to say that I'm a single parent, and when I was moving here, I mean, it was difficult. I had to work, but I was able to achieve that that goal.
Okay, great, fantastic. And one of the big issues we find is that, is debt. So if you're watching in on this program, just blink if you know somebody that has debt. So, Marcia, why don't you talk about debt? What are the issues in the area of debt? What are the issues that people have?
Well, debt is a big monster in most people's homes. And we've known for decades that one of the bigger debt issues has been credit cards. That's been all over the news. But here of late are also student loans, because students are coming out of school with a tremendous amount of student loan debt, and that's what we're seeing a lot of. And then lately, the advent of title loans and those kinds of things. So loans cripple people. They prevent them from being able to save, because they're always shelling out their money towards paying off their debt. So what we're able to do is through our coaching, is to teach people how to get rid of that debt quickly, because that's the ultimate word. Not just paying it off, but quickly getting it out of the way, so that they'll have money freed up to be able to save, to be able to set their foundation in place, and to meet their goals and dreams. So that's what's out there. It's the credit card debt, it's the student loan debt. I think we still have some residual people that got hit with the housing market disaster a few years ago. They're still upside down in their mortgages. So things like that are still a big issue in the community.
Okay, great. Great. So another issue that happens for many people is this whole concept of being financially secure, being financially independent. And what we look at is that part of the issue for being financially independent is this issue of hope. A lot of times people do not get involved because they don't they don't believe, number one, that they could win financially. No one sat down and talked to them about money and finances. I grew up in a poor environment, and no one talked to me about how to invest. I didn't know anything about investing. And so I was excited when our company came and someone talked to me in a very, it took the time to tell me how investments work. And so that gave me hope. I had hope. I said, man, I could do this. This is something I can do. And so, Brandy, why don't you talk about investing and the 3 principles of wealth creation?
Okay, absolutely. There's 3 basic fundamental principles that we all need to know. And they are bypass the middleman, becoming an owner, not a loaner of your money. It's called also the rule of 72. And we're also talking about saving your money and staying in the game for the long haul. So that first one, bypass the middleman, we're talking about the banking system. When we put our money in the bank, the problem is that most of us have our money in the wrong places. We have our money, we're saving our money in places where we get this quote unquote guarantee, which means that we're having it in the banks, we have it in the credit unions, we also have it with the IRS, or we have it with the insurance companies. And what's happening is that in these situations, what they're doing is they're taking your money, taking our money, and they're going out and investing it with a higher rate of return and receiving a higher rate of return. So what we're saying is go do exactly what they do. Bypass them, and you go out and get a higher rate of return. So basically have your money working better for you. The second one is to save and invest and to stay in for the long haul. We want you to pay yourself first. Put some money to the side for yourself. Have it invested. Any type of savings and investment program that is going to create wealth for you takes time. So you need to stay in the game for the long haul. Wealth is created over time, not overnight. And the final rule is the rule of 72. I love this rule. It's called the banker's rule. And what this is it tells us how long it's going to take our money to double based upon the rate of return. So let's say you have $1,000 that you've set aside. So for every $1,000 that you set aside, say your rate of return is 3%. Well, the rule says take that rate of return, divide it by 72, and that tells you how many years it's going to take for it to double. So if you have a rate of return of 3% and it's divided by 72, it's going to double every 24 years. So in 24 years, you will have $2,000.
That's
Isn't that
a shame.
something? That's a shame, man.
I can't wait 24 years.
Right. But, and guess what? If it doubles again, at 48 years, you'd have a whopping $4,000. That's horrible. But say you had a rate of return of 6%. The same rule applies. But now, after 48 years, you would think you'd have $8,000, right, guys? Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
But guess what? You'd have $16,000.
Wow.
Isn't that something? Much better.
That's much better.
Much better. But if you had a rate of return, if you had your money in the right vehicle with a rate of return of 12%, after 48 years, you would have $256,000. Wow. Which would you prefer? Which would you prefer?
I take 12%.
I take the 12%.
As all day.
$256,000.
Thank you. Yes.
Every $256,000 counts.
So this is absolutely every $256,000 counts. So this is the magic of compounding interest. Now here's the deal, guys, is that this is a rule that does not discriminate. There's no gray area here. You either have your money working for you, or you are making the choice to not have your money put in the right vehicles to work for you, which means it's going to be working against you. So those are the 3 wealth principles. If you remember nothing else, remember those. That's right.
Okay, that's great, Brandy. Now, so investing deals with if you live a long time.
Absolutely.
So what if you don't live a long time? How do you protect that family, Marcia? What's the strategy for doing that?
Well, investing, it happens that works for you if you live too long. Life insurance is for the situation if you die too soon. And oftentimes people don't understand the purpose of life insurance, but life insurance is critical, and everybody, if you breathe in air, you need life insurance. Yes. Because at some point you will stop breathing air, and someone will need to take care of your family and your final expenses. So that's what we do. We show people how to purchase their life insurance the proper way, where they're not overspending it, that they have the right amount that they need for their families. We've had situations where people have died that were really old, and we've had situations where we paid death claims of very young people,
Yes.
and families and so forth. And so while you never want to see this happen, we as financial coaches feel good when we can go back to a family that has suffered a loss already and give them a check that's going to help that family carry on their life the way they were accustomed to. So life insurance is very important as part of this whole financial security. Is to make sure that family is still secured in the case of a breadwinner in the house.
Sure, great, thank you. Well, I want to kind of summarize some things. We have many, many stories that we can share with the TV and the viewing audience, and we've had people who have, we taught them how to get out of debt. They paid all their debt off, so they're living debt-free. We have clients who, several clients this year paid cash for their car.
Right.
We've had, you know, over the past few years, we probably paid out about $12 million in death claims. We have over $200 million of life insurance in force through our office, and we manage, like I said, multiple millions of dollars. We actually operate one of the largest minority businesses here in the tri-state area. What do? There's 3 principles that we give all of our clients. The first one is education. We believe the more educated our clients are, the better they will be if they decide to do business. Our second promise is one of integrity. What that means is whatever your financial goals and dreams that you have for you and your family, we're going to help you reach those financial goals and dreams. Promise number 3 is that we're going to work with you forever. What that means is that unlike other financial planners, that type of thing, we'll put together a written plan to help you and your family succeed. And there's no cost. We're going to do that on a complimentary basis to help you win. So we're going to give you the full services out there. So if you want to find out more, please give us a call. Our number is 513-821-3332. And our team, our crack team, will be happy to help you and serve you reach your financial goals and dreams.
Everyone has something to protect, and the J.L. Tillman Insurance Agency has insurance for just about anything. Whether your insurance needs are for your business, home, auto, or life, you can rest assured that we have the right coverage for your specific need. For over 34 years, the J.L. Tillman Insurance Agency has been serving tri-state customers. When you insure with the J.L. Tillman Insurance Agency, you can be totally confident that you are being protected by an agency that truly cares. Other services include financial planning, disability income protection, college education, and retirement planning, just to name a few. Call us today for a free no-obligation quote. The J.L. Tillman Insurance Agency. On your team.
My name is Gail Adams Arnold, and I'm President and CEO of Jet About Travel. I want to invite you to give me a call to book you on your next dream trip. I can be reached at 513-602-7294. And as we say, great places to go and see, that's what we guarantee.
Hi, welcome back. I'm here and I have the pleasure of interviewing Pastor Tracy Ventus. He's the pastor of the New Mission Missionary Baptist Church, and he's also the founding visionary for CEG. My friend, welcome.
My friend,
good to see you, man.
Thank you. Good to be here.
CEG has been in existence now for about, what, 8.5 years?
Yes.
Okay. There are a lot of people here in Cincinnati that really do not know how CEG actually got started. Why don't you give them a little history on CEG and how it came to be?
CEG started from one of the street ministries that we used to do at New Mission. There was a lot of young men that I went to talk to and could not offer them any jobs.
Okay.
And they basically told us, you know, you don't have nothing to offer us. At the time, Jim Kleeman was working with one of our nonprofit organizations.
Okay.
And we was working with Fifth Third Bank, trying to get the bank and the churches in Madisonville together.
All right, so you wanted an initiative between the two.
Yes.
Okay.
We did a special project for Fifth Third. Then after we did their project, they never returned our phone call.
Wow.
Typical. I told Jim, I said, Jim, we need to make this bigger. Why not get more churches involved? Then let's go to Fifth Third.
Okay.
And Jim Kleeman said, Tracy, there's an organization that's already doing it. He said, I know a man by the name of Jonathan Weaver who has an organization that is networking with banks. I said, let's fly him in. Let's call all the other pastors in Cincinnati. Let's fly him in.
Okay.
Let's talk to him, and let's see if we can make it work here.
So he was not here in Cincinnati. Where was Jonathan Weaver?
Jonathan's out of Maryland.
Okay.
He's the founder of the original Collective Empowerment Group.
Okay. So you fly Jonathan into Cincinnati. What happens after that?
If I remember right, there's about 28 to 30 pastors who showed up at the meeting. He gave us the background CEG, what it can do, what is happening in Maryland. In fact, it was about 7 of us drove up to Maryland. They had a banquet.
Okay.
And we was blown away. It was senators was there and high level, awesome. We saw the power that his church, these churches have by coming together on one accord.
So you have this man, Dr. Jonathan Weaver,
Yes, sir.
who now reaches out in Maryland, Prince George's County.
Yes, sir.
And he pulls in other pastors.
Yes.
And other churches.
Yes.
If I remember correctly, Dr. Weaver had banks?
Big banks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Matter of fact, it was the representatives of the state was there.
Wow.
They wrote a check for $50,000 if my mind serves me right.
Wait a minute. One pastor gets banks, churches involved, and because of that collective power, they now are bringing in state representatives.
Yes, sir.
To the tune of $50,000. So they almost underwrote the banquet.
I would say so. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
In fact, the banquet hall was so big with so many people, it was paid for.
All right. So let's now transition, if we can, from that first meeting. You being the visionary, how have you seen CEG grow, change? What do you think some of the challenges are?
After that meeting, the pastor said, yeah, we want to do this in Cincinnati. They voted me as the president.
Okay.
One of the initial problems that we had was having leverage with the banks.
Mm-hmm.
It was slow at first, maybe 7, 8 churches, but not enough money, not enough people to impress the churches. One of the ideals that I had, I said, you know what? I got some young guys off the streets who need jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take the infrastructure of the church, bind it with the infrastructure of African American jobs, our companies,
Okay.
and let's invest in ourselves.
Okay.
That was a new idea. No other model, collective empowerment model, has that component to it. But I know Cincinnati. I know that Cincinnati needed that shot of adrenaline in the arm for our black businesses.
And so now we have those that from that marriage, we have a group that we now call strategic partners.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so the strategic partners with the churches collaborate so that it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, the businesses get, our congregations will want to go to them first.
Okay.
We encourage our congregates to patronize these businesses.
Okay.
The businesses give us a 10%, I guess you can say, 10% off of the total price, okay? So it's a win-win situation. The businesses grow. Hopefully, my dream originally was that the businesses would grow to the extent that they would need to hire young men and young ladies. Well, why not hire the young men and young ladies in our own neighborhoods. That is really the fulfillment of the vision, where the businesses are growing so fast that it creates job opportunities.
And by doing that, the churches and the businesses together now begin to impact the destinies of really what goes on inside the African American community.
That's economic empowerment.
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Pastor Ventus. You've been around this organization now for 8 years. What do you see as some of the major challenges?
Getting people on board, churches on board, businesses on board. I think we're doing well, but we can do much better.
We could do better.
Getting our congregations to patronize the businesses. We're doing well.
Okay.
But we can do better.
We could do better. What would you say to pastors? What would you say to pastors who are part of CEG, but find it very challenging to come out to support CEG events?
For me, this is preaching the gospel. How can I say that? Well, there was a time when the church, the African American church, was the center point of the community. Businesses started in the African American church. Everything started in the African American church. At some point, I guess, when we became metro and we started moving about and can go everywhere, the church lost its credibility and its influence. The need is still there. If the church is the center point of people's money, economic empowerment, helping them live better, it gives us credibility and power again.
Okay.
Where they will listen to our message.
So we have to reach them in such a way that when we open up our mouths to preach, that there's something behind it.
They see that we're not just speaking to them from a spiritual standpoint, but from a holistic standpoint, that we are affecting their everyday living, and we care.
Okay. Let me turn the dial a little bit.
Okay.
Since I know you a little bit, what are you into now? What kind of things are going on for Tracy Ventus now?
Sure you want to ask that question?
Yes, sir, I do. I told you we were going to have fun.
Okay. One of the major projects that I'm doing right now is I'm writing a marriage book. I see that some of the fallout that is happening in our community is because the family has fallen apart. The pattern that God has set up as far as family, when you break that pattern, it's going to be a tidal wave of consequences. That is part of what is happening. Fathers are not being fathers, or not even in the home. So the young men and young ladies don't have a father to set that standard. It starts with calling us back to see God's intent, God's purpose, of what He intended for marriage. We have lost the image. Talking to my son the other day, my son is 24 years old. This is what he told me. He said, "Dad, most of my friends don't want to be married. They don't see nothing in it, no benefit. Why?"
Wow.
He said, "The picture is gone." I'm trying to take the principles of the Bible and repaint the picture. You don't want what you can't see. If I told you that I'm making a dish and the dish is called gooba, doesn't sound good, does it?
Nah.
You can't desire it, can you?
No.
Because you never tasted it.
Never tasted it.
But once you smell it and taste it,
Might want it.
because now you know what it looks like, you know what it tastes like. So if people really don't know what God's intent for marriage is, if they never seen the picture, if they never saw the beauty of it, why would they want it? So the book is trying to create the desire again.
Okay.
So pray for me.
All right, will do. One last question.
Yes, sir.
What's your favorite Bible verse?
Wow. I don't know if I have a favorite Bible verse. But let's go back to the reason of the book. In the last book of the Old Testament, the last chapter of the last book, the last verse, Malachi says, unless I turn the fathers' hearts back to the children, and the children's hearts back to the fathers, I'm going to have to come and curse the earth.
The earth.
That is a prophetic vision of Malachi, looking into the future. I believe looking into our day, and it's talking about the breakdown of the family, and where the children are not being raised, not being fathered, not being covered. And there's such a consequence that God says, unless I turn that tide, I have no other choice but to send a curse. But I think that God is sending a wave of people that is going to mentor young men and show them how to be men, mentor young ladies and show them how to be ladies, show them that they have value, show them that they are of worth and have significance, to call them the marriage back to what he intended. I believe that God is about ready to make a move.
So return to the original intent.
Return to the original intent. God's intent.
Right.
He's the architect. The author, the architect, the creator. He knows what he intended. And he knows the blessings that are in it if we just follow the blueprint. There's a blueprint.
When you follow the divine design, you get the divine blessings.
You're a pretty smart man.
I get to hang out with you. Cincinnati, you've just heard from my dear friend, but also a visionary and a pastor, Pastor Tracy Ventus, founding visionary and former president of the Collective Empowerment Group. My friend, God bless you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for this time.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
And welcome back. I hope you enjoyed our two interviewees,
Chuck Futel and Associates.
and Pastor Tracy Ventus. I enjoyed listening to both of them talk.
What did you think about Pastor Ventus talking about his book?
That sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
I think out in the audience I wanted to say something, but I didn't want to interrupt the interview, but it was really good, wasn't it?
It was good.
It was good. We have just a few announcements that we'd like to make before we close out the show today. One thing that I want to bring to everyone's attention is that we're having our 4th annual trade fair.
Yes. Our trade fair is going to be October 24th. It's going to start at 9 a.m. It's going to be at New Prospect Baptist Church. This year, we're bringing in different speakers. We're going to have breakout sessions. There's going to be a silent auction again. And we're looking to educate people on how to start their own business this year.
I think that'd be excellent. Speaking of businesses, you know, one of our board members, who is also a pastor, Pastor Jim Vickers, recently won an award with the African American Chamber of Commerce.
Wow.
He won the Business of the Year award, and I was so proud for him to be one of the awardees this year.
He's well worth recognizing. He's put in a lot of work with CEG. One of the other things, you have moved your business, haven't you?
I have.
Oh,
you know,
my.
we're celebrating our 28th year
28
of
years.
business right here in Cincinnati. We're now in Georgia and Tennessee.
Wow.
And we're moving from the Reading Road location
Okay.
down to 619 Central Avenue in the Page Towers.
Okay, so that's going to be exciting.
Oh, it is very exciting.
Good.
We're very glad for that.
All right, God is blessing. Let's see, what about Gail Adams Arnold?
You know, Gail Adams Arnold was one of our guests that we interviewed last
Last-
time we were
exactly.
on the show. And because of that interview, she has picked up so much business. I think the last one that she got was maybe one of our pastors, her helping him get to New Orleans.
Right.
She has another couple of posts that she's doing, and she's really picked up some business just by being here on that show. And we hope that others that are listening who are strategic partners will join us to get interviewed so we can tell the audience about what it is that you do and help to increase your business as well.
we're asking that as many of you that can, make sure you get registered. If you have not already spoken with Gail Adams Arnold or Pastor Patrick Barrows, please do so that we can feature you. Sister Angelina Jones and I have a great time interviewing you. So, please ma'am, please sir, make it your business to call.
Okay, and thank you so much for joining us this segment. We hope to see you next time.
Bye-bye. God bless you.
We hope that you've enjoyed our program, and we hope that you have been inspired to become a part of our organization. You can do so by going to our website, that is www.cegcincinnati.org, where you can not only find out more about our organization, but you can also apply to become a member or a strategic partner. We believe that you will be excited, enriched, and empowered by becoming a part of our organization. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.